what's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Moy Diaz Combat Pubcast. It is Friday, thank God, March 13th, and Dana White recently came out and announced a large amount of fights all the way up until June, I believe, until the White House card. So April, there was only one announced as of now. It's the April 25th card at the Apex, the Metapex in Vegas, which will be headlined by Aljamain Sterling, and he's taking on Youssef Zalal. Aljo's been calling for a big fight, in the last couple of weeks. After the RAF, he called out a big fight, and he's been wanting a big fight. Something that's going to put him in striking distance of trying to get a shot at the title at Volkanovski before Volk rides into the sunset. And as of right now, we don't know who Volk's going to take. It'll probably be either Mosvar or, depending on how Lerone Murphy looks like and on the London card, if he gets a big win, it'll probably be Lerone Murphy next. But if Aljamain can go out there and have a great performance against Youssef Zalal, I think he has the right to throw his name into the hat for who's next. If he can go out there and stop Youssef Zalal, who's been on an absolute tear, going out there, his last fight when he submitted, I just went over this. He submitted, who did he submit? I have to look it up real quick. But, it was Josh Emmett. He finished Josh Emmett in the first minute, 23 seconds or something like that. So that really boosted his name value in Youssef Zalal. But if Aljo can go in there and just absolutely dismantle him, take him apart, possibly get a finish, I think he has a right to ask for a title shot, especially with Mosvar being out so long. And if Lerone goes in there and lays an egg in London, in his home country, then maybe Aljo has a chance. And that I would really like to see that fight. Aljo versus Volk, former champion, taking on a two-time champion. Let's be real, Aljamain Sterling striking is not near the striking ability of Volkanovski. Volkanovski is an absolute master inside the octagon. His ability to manage range, use his footwork and distance, the way he can get in and get out, and then set up takedowns off his striking and vice versa. He's one of the best to ever do it. In my opinion, he is the best featherweight to ever do it. But Aljamain has certain things that he does well that I think can present a lot of challenges for Volkanovski, especially his back control. His grappling is outstanding. His wrestling is outstanding. So that'd be an interesting fight for me, Aljamain Volk. But he's got to get past Youssef Zalal first. So that was the first fight. The May 2nd card, it's going to be in Perth, Australia, and it's going to be headlined by Jack Della Maddalena, the former welterweight champion of the world. He's going to take on, I think he's number 4 now, Carlos Prates. That's going to be a damn good fight. That is going to be a striker's delight. It's going to be Carlos Prates' Muay Thai versus Jack Della Maddalena's superior boxing. I cannot wait for that card. That's going to be a good fight right there. There's no way that is a boring fight, because neither one of those guys is going to try to take the fight to the ground. It's going to be who can manage the distance the best, who can weather the onslaught from each opponent, and who can score that knockout first. Prates is a madman. He's going to be head hunting for a head kick or that flying knees that he loves to do. And Jack is going to be looking to bring him in, counter-striking, just catch him with a beautiful right or left. Maddalena's boxing is next to none in that welterweight division. I think he has the best boxing in the welterweight division, but he's got to get inside the range, and he's got to get past those kicks in the knees from Prates to get into boxing range. So that's going to be an interesting chess match to watch of two strikers, one who is predominantly in Muay Thai, the other one who's predominantly boxing. But Jack does throw, calf kicks and things like that. He'll mix it up. So this is going to be a very, very interesting fight when it comes down to it on May 2nd in Perth, Australia, on the west coast of Perth, or the west coast of Australia in Perth. Another fight that was announced on that card, Beneil Dariush is going to be taking on Quillan Salkid. If Beneil Dariush doesn't get a win, I think he's done, and he should hang it up. the last fight versus BSD, I thought he was going to have a really good chance against BSD. I think he has better grappling than BSD, but BSD didn't give him a chance. I mean, he stuffed the takedown and then cracks him with the right hand when he's on his way up and puts him out, man. Just absolutely flatlines him. So Benny really never got a chance to get going in that fight, but that's, you got to tip your hat to BSD for making him pay. But Quillan Salkett is a tough opponent. Benny's original opponent, I think he was Jose Torres or Miguel Torres, one of those guys. He pulled out. Quillan Salkett is from Australia. He steps in. So he's going to have a lot of pressure on him in front of his home country to put on a great performance against Benny Dariush. But like I said, if Benny Dariush doesn't get the win, I think his time in mixed martial arts is done and he's going to retire. The biggest fight of all the announcements is going to be at the UFC 328, May 9th, so a week after the Perth card, at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, and it's going to be headlined by Khamzat Chimaev, the reigning, defending middleweight champion of the world, is going to be taking on number 3, Sean Strickland. And I know Nasruddin is probably not happy that he got jumped because he's the number 1 contender, and after that great performance he put on in Paris against Caio Borralho, he's probably just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what do I got to do? But Sean Strickland did come off a great performance against Fluffy Hernandez. Stopped him, which we haven't seen Fluffy get stopped like that in the last 8-9 fights because he was on like a run. And that's going to be interesting. I know a lot of people are saying, especially Gamebred, Jorge Masvidal, former BMF champion, title contender himself, he said he's putting the house on Sean Strickland. He just says that styles make fights, and he thinks that Sean Strickland is a live dog in this fight. And then there's other people, I mean, kind of including myself, Khamzat Chimaev's not going to give him a chance to get going in this fight. He might just sprint across the octagon as soon as the first bell starts and just dive on a double leg and run him into the fence, scoop, slam, and then see if Sean Strickland can get up. I mean, we'll see. And it depends on the Sean Strickland we get. Sometimes Sean Strickland comes out and he looks flat. He looks not motivated. I mean, he always comes with pressure, but you can't put that type of pressure with that tall stance that he likes to have with the shoulder roll. That Philly shell, he stands very tall. And if you do that against Khamzat Chimaev, you're just asking to get taken for a ride. He's gonna double leg you, scoop you, slam you, work you on the ground. So I'm very interested to see what Sean Strickland shows up. If anyone has a chance in this division versus Khamzat Chimaev right now, it is probably Sean Strickland. I like Nasruddin Imavov as well. But I don't know, man. I think Imavov has better boxing than Sean Strickland, but Sean Strickland's pressure is something that people overlook, and you really have to address that, because if you just let him keep you on the back foot the entire fight, he will find openings and he will open up, like he did against Fluffy. Fluffy was putting pressure, but he wasn't doing enough work, with the hands and taking it upstairs, downstairs, leg kicks, working the body, attacking the head. If you don't do that against Sean Strickland, he will find a rhythm and he will start to open up on you like he did against Izzy in their first fight and like he did against Fluffy in his last fight. So that's going to be interesting. If I had to pick right now, gun to my head, I'm still taking Khamzat Chimaev to win that main event. But the rest of the main card was announced as well. And this is probably one of the better cards of the year, in my opinion, top to bottom on the main card. So we have Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. We have number 2 ranked Alexander Volkov, sorry, not Volkanovski. Number 2, Alexander Volkov in the heavyweight division is taking on Waldo Cortez Acosta, who's ranked number 4, coming off the big win against, the knockout win against my man, the Black Beast Derek Lewis, man. Waldo Cortez Acosta has really grown on me in the last year, and he is willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, any place. I mean, he is flying all the way across the other side of the world to Australia to fight the big Russian. Alexander Volkov. And this is going to be an interesting fight. I think Volkov's looked really good in his last 2 fights. Even with the loss against Cyril Gamba, he looked great in his last one. He's showing that because he moved to Vegas, so he's training at Extreme Couture, I believe now. He's no longer training in Russia anymore. I think he's made a full-time move. So he's shown that he's making adjustments in his game, and he looked really good his last fight. But I think Cortez Acosta is going to be the upset, and he's going to win this fight. I think what Alexander Volkov does, Cortez does better. He's got better boxing, better timing, and he can take a shot just as good, if not better than anyone else in that division at heavyweight. He can take a shot, man, because he took a shot from the knockout king himself, Derek Lewis. He took shots from Pavlovich in their fight. I mean, all these guys are big knockout artists. Pavlovich had like 5 fights in a row with 5 knockouts. Black Beast, Derek Lewis, is the most knockouts in the UFC history. So if you can take shots from those guys, then, man, I don't know what Alexander Volkov is going to do to you. So I'm going to take Waldo Cortez Acosta to play upsetter because he's ranked number 4. They haven't put the betting lines out yet, but he'll probably be, I mean, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he's a slight favorite because of the win streak he's on and how he's performed. I'm going to take Waldo Cortez Acosta. The next fight I was very surprised to see, but not really because Sean Brady's been out since the loss to Michael Morales. Sean Brady dropped down to number 8. He was as high as number 3 or 2, I believe, before he lost that fight against Michael Morales. And he's taking on number 9, Joaquin Buckley. Both these guys have a very similar build. They're not tall. They're like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", around there. Built like a fucking fire hydrant. They're both stocky as shit. Wide backs, big shoulders, big arms, thick necks. This is going to be interesting because Joaquin Buckley is explosive as fuck on the feet. I mean, we saw what happened to Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson when he tried to stand in front of Joaquin Buckley for too long. He got sparked out by Joaquin Buckley. He has power and the explosivity to get you out of there at any moment, whether it's the first round, the third round. So, but we also just saw what happened to him against the former number 1 pound for pound and former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman, who just out-grappled him, and that is Sean Brady's motherfucking wheelhouse. If Sean Brady gets this fight to the ground, good luck to Joaquin Buckley. I hope he's drilling as much jiu-jitsu and wrestling as he can, because Sean Brady, if he can get him down to the ground, especially early in this fight, it's going to be a short night for Joaquin Buckley. But I'm going to take Sean Brady for the win. But Joaquin Buckley has that big explosive puncher's chance, man. But he needs to do something early to get Sean Brady's respect. He needs to stuff some takedowns early to make Sean Brady believe that he can't just go in there and grab a single and have his way with him. But it's going to be interesting, and I'm really looking forward to that fight. And that's the feature fight on this card. The next fight down, former light heavyweight champion of the world, ranked number 5 in the light heavyweight division, Jan Blachowicz is taking on ranked number 8, Bogdan Guskov. I really like Jan Blachowicz, man. I'm a sucker for him. His last fight was a draw. It's like this guy just gets the most draws in this division. He had the draw against Ankalaev for the vacant title. Then he has a draw his last fight. I'm going to take Jan Blachowicz on this one to win this fight against Bogdan Guskov. I think he has better grappling and he's got bigger power. I think he can get it done against Bogdan Guskov. And then the last fight, the opening fight on this card, I was surprised. King Green, Bobby King Green, a.k.a. just King Green, is taking on the little heathen Jeremy Stephens. That is going to be a fucking bang. That might seal the fight of the night right there, because them fools are going to be throwing down. Jeremy Stephens, is no stranger to dog fights, man. He's one of the only guys who stopped Nate Diaz, and we know how tough Nate Diaz is. So King Green, Jeremy Stephens, man, I got to go with the man who's on the roll, man, King Green. Got to go with King Green in this fight. The next fight announcement is May 16th at the Meta Apex in Vegas. It's going to be headlined by number 12 ranked Milky Costa is taking on Arnold Allen at 145 pounds. That's going to be an interesting fight. Arnold Allen's ranked number 8. Milky Costa is surging, but he's ranked number 12. Man, I really like Arnold Allen, man. He is just He's really good at the basics. He doesn't do anything too flashy, but Melky Costa is one of those guys too, man, who can just explode and take you out. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now, and this is his biggest test to date. If he can get past Arnold Allen, he's going to be someone to reckon with at 45, but man, I've bet Arnold Allen the last 2 times, and he's let me down. I'm going to go Melky Costa on this one, man. I love Arnold Allen, but dude, he's like the Marc-Andre Barrio, man. I keep betting that dude, and he just keeps letting me down. So I got to step away on this one, man. I'm sorry, Arnold Allen, but I got to step away on this one. And then we have another fight announcement. So in May alone, there's 5 weekends in May. 4 out of the 5 weekends, we're going to have fights. They have announced the Macau China card is going to be May 30th. It's going to be headlined by number 5 ranked Song Yadong at 135 pounds, taking on ranked number 7 Deiveson Figueiredo. Both these guys coming off of losses. Song Yadong just coming off the loss to Sean O'Malley. Deiveson Figueiredo coming off a loss against Umar Nurmagomedov. I think this is going to be a good fight. I think Davis's best way to win this fight is probably going to get it to the ground, but Song Yadong is a tough customer, man, especially fighting over there with those guys in Team Alpha Male in Sacramento. Deiveson Figueiredo is going to have his work cut out for him. You know, I think O'Malley had his hands full with Song Yadong. And most people thought Song Yadong won that fight. I was there at the first Paramount Plus card with between Justin Gaethje and Paddy the Baddy. Song Yadong versus O'Malley was the co-main event or feature fight on that card. And I had walked off thinking that it was done. Like, I was like, Song Yadong's got this by decision, easily winning 2 rounds to 1. So I'm at the bar area, you know, go to take a leak. I'm at the bar area waiting, seeing guys like Nick Diaz walk by, Chris Rock's walking by. You know, I don't remember the guy, the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's like walking by. I see Glover Teixeira at the bar, and I'm like, cheers, Glover. And they announced the winner, Sean O'Malley, and everyone back there looks at each other like, what the fuck? Sean O'Malley won that fight? So that was a close fight. I thought he lost. I thought Song Yadong edged him out by the thinnest of margins. But, yeah, I think Davison's going to have his hands full. I think Song Yadong is going to get the job done, especially if Deiveson can't get this fight to the mat. So that's the headliner from Macau. Wait, let me. There's a couple other ones on that card. Let me look it up real quick. So you have, that's the headliner: Song Yadong, Deiveson Figueiredo, Zhang Min Yang versus Alonzo Menifil is going to be an interesting fight. I really like Zhang Min Yang, man. He looked really good. But I like Alonzo Menifil too. He's another guy who's built like a fucking tank, man. Alonzo Menifil. I don't know who to pick just yet. I have to wait till the betting lines come out before I feel comfortable picking someone in that fight. And then they have Sergey Pavlovich, heavyweight fight, taking on Taliesin Teixeira. Teixeira just coming off that victory against man, who did he beat? It was super close. Oh, man, Taliesin Teixeira. Let me see. Teixeira. Tai Tuivasa. Yeah, that was a good fight. Both those guys were fucking exhausted as shit, man. But yeah, Taliesin Teixeira won that fight. It wasn't as close as I thought. You know, every time Bam Bam got something going, man, he would just suck and win, and he'd close, and they'd be sitting against the cage for a few minutes, and then he tried to explode again, and then Taliesin Teixeira would come back. Yeah, Taliesin Teixeira won that fight, but I really wanted Bam Bam to win that fight too, because that was like his 7th or 8th straight loss. I mean, so that sucks. But Sergey Pavlovich, I'm gonna go Sergey Pavlovich, and I think he wins by knockout. Sergey Pavlovich ain't no bitch, man. He ain't there to play. He will get you out. And he's got a decent gas tank for as big as he is, because Sergey Pavlovich isn't one of these tall, slender heavyweights. He's like 6'2", 6'3", I believe, and he's jacked as fuck. And that's why he has such big power. Like, that dude knows how to move his weight around. And when he connects, you go down. Unless you're fucking Waldo Cortez Acosta or Tom Aspinall. Other than that, you usually go down. So I'm going to take Sergey Pavlovich on that one. And then the last major fight announcement is a June 6th card at the Meta Apex in Las Vegas, and it's going to be headlined by Bilal Muhammad, the former welterweight champion of the world, taking on Gabriel Bonfim, who's coming off a 3-0 record in his last 3. He beat Chaos Williams. He beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, which I thought Wonderboy won that fight. They gave it to him, split decision. A lot of people thought Wonderboy won, but then he comes back and beats Rude Boy Randy Brown in a great fight. Bonfim has just got a shitload of confidence right now, especially coming off the wins with Wonderboy, who's a legend, and Randy Brown, who is just a staple in the division. But now he's got to take on the former welterweight champion of the world, Belal Muhammad, who's coming off 2 losses himself. His last one to Ian Machado Gary, which was a great fight. It was a pretty good fight. I thought Ian Machado won 3 rounds to 2. And then the great fight against Jack Della Maddalena. I don't care what you say. If you don't like Belal, if he thinks his boxing is Canelo style boxing, whatever, but he showed heart and grit that we hadn't seen before in that fight when he lost his title to Jack Della Maddalena, because they stood in the pocket and they traded. Both those guys were bleeding, bloody messes after that fight. And I always liked Belal, even though I was screaming my fucking head off during that fight. Why are you not wrestling? Because he was getting tagged with huge shots and combinations by JDM. But I think he had something to prove that fight. Like, I'm not just, this wrestler who's going to just wrestle and try to cruise my way to a victory. He wanted to put his heart on the line and show his balls. And he did, man. He earned a lot of respect from a lot of people. It wouldn't look like it because he's on a fucking fight night in the Meta Apex, which I think is a travesty. I think he's a former world champion. You have to put him on at least on a feature fight on a main event or on a numbered UFC card. But nonetheless, here he is against Gabriel Bonfim. I'm taking Belal Muhammad, man. He's fought the better competition, and he showed his heart against JDM, and he showed a lot of heart against IMG, Ian Machado Gary. So I'm taking Belal Muhammad, man. So that's the rundown of all the fights that were released by Dana. Quality fights, man. All of them are quality fights. I know they've been getting a lot of shit lately that they're just throwing shit together, which I do believe the White House was throwing together last minute. They won't say what fight fell out, but it's definitely not the card that Dana wanted. It's not the card that we were expecting. We were hearing everything from 7 to 8 title fights, and, Dana has been saying this is going to be the most badass card that the UFC's ever put together in front of the White House, and it's not. It's just not. I mean, I love the main event. Me personally, with Ilya and Justin Gaethje, that's going to be a good fight until it's done, because somebody's going to get knocked out, and I think Ilya is going to knock him out in the first 2 rounds, within the first 2 rounds. And then we have the Cyril Gane versus Alex Pereira. It's going to be a huge fight for the interim heavyweight title. But other than that, man, none of the other fights are really jumping out. And you would think that this card on the White House would be stacked from the very first fight to the main event. And it's just not that. So, but that's my breakdown of all the fights that were announced by Dana White and the UFC. And I can't wait, man. These are like the Belal fight's going to be great. I really like the Newark card. The King Green Jeremy Stevens fight's going to be good. Waldo Cortez Acosta on the Grappler and me really wants to see Sean Brady and see if he can just ragdoll Joaquin Buckley. The Hamzat fight, of course, is going to be interesting to see if he can do the same thing to Sean Strickland, what he did at DDP to win the title. The Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates in Perth is going to be an absolute fucking banger. And I'm very interested to see what Aljamain Sterling can do against another grappler against and Yusuf Zalal. So that's all I got today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications. Watch fights, drink pints. See you on the next one. Peace.